The smell of a campfire, the sound of crackling firewood, the sweet taste of s'mores on a summer evening. Every summer, thousands of kids across our country experience the magic of summer camp. Around these campfires are our future politicians, innovators, doctors, artists, creators. Summer camp is an experience in which kids are able to gain new lifelong friendships, and also, with that, experience the magic, joy, wonder, and challenge of the outdoors. Yet, as transformative as those benefits are, there still remains a huge, stark gap in diversity. Only 4% of summer campers identify as Black or African American across our country. And the root causes of this lack of diversity are threefold. The first is many summer camps are located in summer overnight camps are located in rural areas, distant from many communities of color. The second is programming. Although there are amazing summer camp programs across our country, some programs don't have the relevancy that some of our families are yearning for. And the third is financial. The average cost of a one-week summer camp in our country is $760. And some families lack the financial means to send their kid to camp. In 1924, an amazing, beautiful woman by the name of Maddie Landry experienced these same challenges. Here in our city of San Antonio, she decided to do something about it and launch and start America's first ever summer camp for Black girls, Camp Found Girls, which proudly served the San Antonio community for over 40 years. Unfortunately, when she passed, the camp ceased operations. Last summer, Black Outside proudly revived and resurrected the summer camp. We work with our local community to fundraise to bus our students outside of the city of San Antonio to beautiful outdoor properties. Additionally, we work with the staff of predominantly Black women educators to craft programming that was relevant for our girls. And lastly, we used a volunteer model, which allowed us to charge 50% below the market rate, in addition to utilizing a sliding scale to ensure that families had equitable access to camp. Families paid as much as they could, and we fundraised the rest. Our approach to addressing these challenges worked. Last year, we opened camp and received over 40 applications in less than 10 days of registration. And prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, over 70% of our returning families had registered for camp. In addition to that, we received numerous out-of-state requests. We decided, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, to make pivots in our programming. This upcoming summer, we made a pivot to have day programming in smaller groups. But what excites us the most is that we made an intentional decision to triple our impact for summer 2021. Our ask tonight from the judges is this. We're asking for $40,000, which would cover our cost of camp facilities and rental costs for the next 3 years, and $2,500 to support this year's summer programming. We've already successfully revived a very impactful model for camp. And we are on track to break even by year 2 with over $11,000 in additional funds. We hope with your $40,000 that we can use these additional funds that we gain through earned revenue to place a down payment on a campsite in a future permanent home for Camp Found Girls. Additional funding and earned revenue would then be received by out-of-season camp rentals. So help us tonight by not only investing in our community, but also San Antonio history, and also an effort to diversify the outdoors. Thank you. Yeah, we utilize a very community-centered model to advertise camp. We partnered last year with the Eastside Boys and Girls Club to help us market camp to families that in previous years had lack of access to summer overnight camp options. Additionally, this year we've actually garnered Black Outside. In less than a year, we have almost 1,000 followers on Instagram. So this year we've also been starting to use that to not only recruit volunteers, but also recruit campers and families and share what we do. Yeah, we've been blessed to work with innovative teachers, and most of our counselors are teachers, so they're used to pivoting during this time. A couple of things that we've done. Thankfully, we've been able to utilize discretionary funds to have resources to purchase for PPE. A big piece is we're going to utilize small, very, very small group programming, 5 to 7 girls per group, 2 to 3 counselors. And our day program is going to be very limited to about 3 to 4 hours. And that programming is going to be very spaced out. Hiking, yoga, on top of like nature art, which we feel like we can do safely at a social distance. We've definitely thought about that. We do like the idea of the sliding scale model that we do have starts at $25. And last year, if families do mark $25, we do actually reach out to them and say, just to see what their needs are and what support they need. And the great thing is we did have some families that we had to work with for additional resources for, whether that's sleeping bags, just clothes for their girls. And so that's the great thing about the sliding scale models. As families opt in, we can figure out if they're at a point where like, we really can't afford a free camp, then we'll figure out the resources to make that happen. But so far, a majority of our families were at least able to pay something, which they were proud and happy to do to support their young girl. I founded Black Outside after spending 7 years in the education system. Prior to my time in education, I was a summer camp counselor at one of the more affluent camps in our country. And I saw the lack of diversity firsthand. It was a powerful, prominent, and just impactful experience. I love camp. I literally wish I could go back there to this day and experience the joy of summer camp with my kids. But really, what hurt my heart was like working in a lot of Title I schools and seeing that kids during the summer didn't have the same access. And with that, I founded Black Outside after learning that there's a huge stark gap in diversity in the outdoor programming, and wanted to close that gap. And we have one simple mission for Black Outside: reconnect Black youth to the outdoors, whether that's through summer camp, school site partnerships, or weekend summits in the outdoors. So we've been able to do that with over 200 kids that we've impacted in less than a year of programming.